According to shocking reports that have surfaced, Kirk Frost was allegedly caught spending an entire night with Kendra Young Jock's wife. Yes, you read correctly. According to sources close to the couple, Kirk and Kendra were seen leaving an upscale Atlanta hotel just minutes apart, with witnesses stating that they appeared too comfortable for the incident to be innocent. Young Jock's recent emotional confession has been sending shockwaves through the cast and fans alike, making this story even more explosive. Behind the scenes, friends are taking sides, rumors are circulating, and the entire hip-hop and love cast is being pulled into a maelstrom of drama, betrayal, and heartbreak. Could this be the ultimate betrayal between two longtime friends? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Fans are shocked, running high, and no one knows who to trust anymore. So buckle up, because this story is full of shocking turns, messy confrontations, and a revelation that could completely alter our understanding of Kirk, Kendra, and Young Jock. The leaked voicemail had already appended everything, but nobody was ready for what happened next. Late that night, a brief video clip, initially grainy and possibly a prank, started making the rounds on social media. When the high-quality version began to circulate, fans noticed two very familiar faces, Kirk and Kendra, sharing what appeared to be a private rental home. The security camera across the street recorded the footage, which showed Kirk looking over his shoulder before opening the door for Kendra, who entered with a small smile, and he quickly followed her, shutting the door behind them. The timestamp was only 2 nights prior to the hotel incident, and the implications were during a late-night Instagram Live. Young Jock's reaction was quick. He looked visibly emotional, rubbing his eyes and trying to keep his voice steady. "I won't lie to you," he said, "this one hit different. Wasn't a one-time encounter. It seemed like something that had been going on behind closed doors for a while, and people couldn't stop asking, was this an affair or something deeper?" His fans flooded the comment section with support and questions about why he hadn't seen this coming, as Kendra and Kirk had been playing him for months. Meanwhile, Rashida finally broke her silence in a post that went viral, uploading a black screen with the words, "Trust is like glass. Once shattered, it's never the same as the way it was before." When Bambi, who has remained close to both Rashida and Jock, posted a series of cryptic tweets, one of which read, "Loyalty ain't for everybody," and another that read, "Funny how people forget." Fans immediately noticed that she wasn't naming anyone, but the timing made it clear who she was referring to. Behind the scenes, producers of Love and Hip Hop reportedly held an emergency meeting because the drama had exploded beyond the cameras. They knew this scandal was ratings gold, but they also knew it was risky, and they said there was talk of filming a special confrontation episode where all parties were involved. Fans wondered if she was defending Kirk by snubbing Kendra, or perhaps cautioning Jock not to play victim. Involved would be brought in person at an off-site location, but persuading them to attend is turning out to be difficult. According to insiders, Kendra is distraught by the criticism and is reportedly staying with a close friend while avoiding calls from the show's crew. Another source claims that she never wanted to speak to Kirk and that he blocked her number and told producers in the same room. Fans are now watching previous episodes of Love and Hip Hop to find clues they might have missed. In one scene, Kirk called Kendra trouble in jest, and she winked back. At the time, it seemed like a joke, but now viewers are certain it was a hint of something more. Other fans also noticed how Kirk always seemed to defend Kendra during group arguments, which now seems suspicious. Friends say Rashida is thinking of taking a break from filming to process everything she's humiliated by. One source shared that Kirk promised he'd never put her through anything like this again, and here they are years later, repeating the same cycle. Rashida, on the other hand, is relying on her inner circle. Her sister shared a picture of the two of them together with the caption, "Blood don't betray you." A voicemail purportedly leaked from Kendra, in which she said, "I never meant to hurt anybody. I was confused. Didn't know what I was doing. Thought Jock didn't care anymore." The voice sounded tired, almost broken. A commenter wrote, "You knew exactly what you were doing. Don't play victim now. Fans were divided, with some feeling pity and others indignant. There was an explosive claim that wasn't even the first time Kirk and Kendra had been involved. According to an anonymous former cast member, years before Kendra started dating Jock, they had a brief, low-key affair with Kirk. No one took it seriously because it ended quickly, but there was something there that made it seem like everything made sense to fans. Perhaps this was unresolved business that never was. Jock's friends are reportedly attempting to console him. He is upset, yes, but also extremely hurt. One of his longtime boys told the media that he wanted to ask Kirk to be the best man at the wedding because he trusted him like a brother. But now he is saying he doesn't even want to get married. Kendra's betrayal has devastated him, but Kirk's involvement in is what is causing him to fall apart. The emotional toll is becoming too obvious to ignore. Kirk hasn't said much in public, but sources according to those close to him, he is claiming that everything is being exaggerated and that he was just discussing Kendra's problems with Jock with her. However, no one is believing this story, especially in light of the leaked voice notes and video. As the situation continues to spiral out of control, there are now rumors that Kendra may be pregnant, which has neither been confirmed nor denied. As the fallout continues, the rest of the cast is preparing for impact. And there are rumors of fights breaking out over set alliances. If this is true, it would this scandal into completely new territory. Fans are closely monitoring her every move, trying to decipher any clues, such as loose clothing, subtle captions, or anything else that might indicate tension. When everyone thought they had heard it all, a new player entered the fray. A woman claiming to have evidence that Kirk and Kendra's relationship had been going on for more than a year. As rumors about the Kirk and Kendra situation continued to circulate, things began to take a more personal turn, and Yandandi Smith Harris, known for her no-nonsense attitude, finally spoke out in, "I'm not surprised. I've known for a while that things weren't right," Yandi said sharply in an exclusive interview with a well-known online magazine. When asked if she was referring to Kirk, she didn't hesitate to say, "Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We've all seen the signs. I've been close to Rashida for years. She deserves better than this. They deserve better." Fans were shocked by Yandi's candor, which also prompted a discussion about the loyalty of those involved in this messy situation. While some may have found Yandi's words shocking, the real bombshell came just hours after the interview when a social media post went viral. The post was from an anonymous account claiming to have insider knowledge, and it included a brief, initially blurry video that made it clear that Kirk and Kendra were sneaking out. It wasn't the first piece of evidence to come to light, but this one was unique because it was actual, raw video that supported suspicions that had been present for months. Rumors now suggested that Kirk and Kendra had been seeing each other in secret for much longer than anyone had believed, and now that everything was public knowledge, fans were left to wonder if the cast as a whole was trustworthy. The public started to turn against Kirk because what had initially appeared to be a straightforward case of an infidelity-prone spouse had suddenly become much more complex. And questions about his role in the cast and his long-term marriage to Rashida took center stage. The emotional turmoil surrounding the scandal peaked when Kirk's own children shared their thoughts on social media. Had recently celebrated his birthday by posting a mysterious message on Instagram that read, "Family is everything." However, when betrayal takes over, you have to reconsider everything. Although his words did not specifically mention the scandal, they struck a deep chord with fans because Kirk's own family began to question his actions as well. As the scandal grew more intense, the focus shifted to Kendra. While Kirk had been the one who had to bear the brunt of the public's outrage, Kendra appeared to be quietly fading from the spotlight as fans began to her past and uncovered disturbing details. Some ex-boyfriends even took to Twitter to express their frustration over their own messy breakups, which was not surprising at all. One of her ex-boyfriends wrote, "She's always been about the drama she gets a thrill from. Although it was only one person's opinion, it only fueled the flames. Could Kendra's past provide insight into her behavior with Kirk? The situation took a different turn when a well-known celebrity gossip blogger released a shocking article about a purportedly secret meeting between Kirk and Kendra that took place just days before the video leak. According to sources, the meeting wasn't just a casual conversation. Rather, if there was reportedly an emotional heart-to-heart in which Kirk reportedly opened up to Kendra about his life and marriage, complaining about how things were going. If these claims were accurate, it added a whole new level of drama. Had Kirk been seeking approval outside of his voyage with Rashida? And if so, was Kendra just a rebound, or was there something more going on? The emotional drama escalated when it was revealed that Kendra and Jock were no longer communicating. The tension between them had escalated, to the point where there were rumors that Jock was done with Kendra. One of Jock's close friends told the media, "I can't even look at her the same way," saying she hurt him in the worst way. He feels like a fool. Jock had not yet made a direct statement on the matter, but it was obvious that the emotional... As for Rashida, there were still rumors circulating about her reaction to Kirk's infidelity. Some sources claimed she was devastated and couldn't understand how her husband could betray her after everything they had been through, while others said she was holding it together in public. Fans could only speculate about what meant for his relationship with Kendra and whether they would reconcile or if this was the end for them both. Rashida is a fighter, but the pain she's feeling right now is unimaginable. Despite the ongoing drama, one thing was becoming clear, that the situation wasn't going to resolve anytime soon. A family friend shared that she was privately struggling to cope with the situation. She's broken, but she's not giving up yet. The world watched, captivated by the twists and turns of this scandal, as new revelations continued to surface almost every day. Fans were unaware that the biggest twist was still to come. A source close to Kirk disclosed that he was secretly planning to confront Kendra and Jock in a dramatic face-to-face meeting. Insiders claimed that Kirk was desperate to clear the air, explain his actions, and possibly even apologize for everything. The cast of Love and Hip Hop had become entangled in a web of lies, deception, and betrayal, and it seemed like the truth would never come out fully. As the countdown to the alleged confrontation began, tensions were higher than ever, and the cast, fans, and everyone else involved were holding their breath, waiting for the explosive moment when Kirk would finally face his past and the consequences of his actions. That had happened. Would this confrontation be the turning point for Kirk, or would it only make matters worse? Fans eagerly awaited the next chapter in this ongoing saga, knowing that the drama was far from over. Fans were eagerly awaiting Kirk's response to the growing chaos, and many were placing bets on a public apology. But Kirk had something much more dramatic in store. As the days passed, the drama surrounding Kirk, Kendra, and young Jock only intensified. The pressure was mounting on Kirk, and his encounter with Kendra and Jock was rapidly becoming the most talked-about event in the reality TV world. Kirk appeared visibly agitated, and his face was red with frustration as he talked about the drama that had been going on. "This isn't just about me anymore," Kirk said, pacing back and forth. "It's about everyone involved. I've been trying to hold it together, but it's too much. I don't know if I can fix it," he said in a leaked video that went viral online. His buddy, who was not on camera, advised Kirk to remain composed. But Kirk was adamant about facing the subject head-on at any cost. The video concluded with Kirk declaring, "I'm done hiding. I'm going to put it all on the table." Fans were left wondering, what was Kirk going to do? When the video went viral, what did he mean by putting everything on the table? Was this his method of getting ready for when it was revealed that Kendra had been secretly meeting with a lawyer? The drama took yet another turn. Rumors that she was seeking legal advice were confirmed when a source close to her said that she was bracing herself for the worst, saying Kendra's not stupid, adding that she knows Kirk is trying to spin this whole thing in his favor, but she's not going to let him. Get away with it. She's prepared to fight back. Fans were shocked to hear that Kendra, who had previously appeared to be enmeshed in Kirk's affair, was now taking precautions to protect herself. Meanwhile, Jock's feelings were growing more complex, and after weeks of silence, he finally opened up in an emotional interview with a radio station. Normally calm Jock appeared visibly shaken as he talked about his feelings for Kendra. Jock's words resonated with fans, who started to wonder if the love between Kendra and Jock had been genuine in the first place. Whether Jock was actually in love with Kendra, or if he was just holding on to a fantasy, and if he was truly hurt by her actions, how far would he go to make things right? The tension was evident as the cast of Love Kirk, who had been keeping a low profile following his explosive video leak, suddenly made a comeback in public. He was spotted with his wife, Rashida, at a private event. And although it was unclear what they were talking about, their body language suggested that the conversation was anything but amicable. Sources close to the couple acknowledged that Kirk had been attempting to save his marriage. But it was becoming too difficult to ignore the cracks in their relationship, and one insider revealed that Rashida was hurt. She wants to believe in Kirk, but the trust has been lost, and it will take a lot for her to forgive him for everything that has happened. Kirk appeared to be making an effort to make things right, but it was obvious that his actions had caused irreversible harm. Could this be the end of his marriage, or was there still hope for reconciliation as the rumors spread? The question on everyone's mind was how it would all play out. Would Kirk finally take responsibility for his actions? Or would he continue to play the victim? Would Kendra stand her ground, or would she back down? Most importantly, what would happen to the fragile relationships that had been shattered by her actions? It was obvious that the confrontation between Kirk, Kendra, and Jock was inevitable. The stage was set for a meeting that would change everything. Fans were anxiously anticipating the moment when Kirk would confront his demons because the affair had higher emotional stakes than ever before. The world was about to witness a confrontation unlike any other that would have long-lasting effects on all parties involved. Would Kirk be able to change his reputation? Or would he be remembered as the man who destroyed the Love and Hip Hop cast? As the fateful meeting drew near, Kirk discovered, though he was aware, that he couldn't reverse the harm he had caused. The pain had already been done, and the consequences were already beginning to be felt. Kirk wasn't ready to give up just yet. He thought there was still hope for redemption, and he was prepared to fight for it while Kendra's attorney continued to prepare her case. Gathering evidence and developing a plan, she was prepared to take charge of her own story and ensure that the truth was heard. As the clock ticked down to the fateful day of the confrontation, the tension continued to rise, and the fans were on high alert, waiting for the moment when the truth was revealed. She knew that Kirk's confession, whether voluntary or the result of the confrontation, would be crucial in determining her next steps. The world was watching, and no one could turn away when the moment everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. Would Kirk, Kendra, and Jock be able to confront each other and resolve their differences? Or would the drama blow out of proportion once and for all? The stakes had never been higher, and the solution seemed just out of reach. Only time would tell how this explosive saga would play out. It was a confrontation that no one could have foreseen or prepared for. And when Kirk first arrived at the meeting spot, he looked anxious and obviously agitated. He paced back and forth, his mind racing from all the things he had been through. The tension was at an all-time high, and fans from all over the world were eagerly watching to see how this explosive situation would unfold. Cameras were rolling, the stage was set, and the emotions were running wild. He had no idea how Kendra and Jock would respond to the public humiliation, leaked videos, rumors, and accusations that had surrounded him over the past few weeks. But he knew that this was his last chance to put things right. He wanted to save any part of his reputation. He had to get through this. As the minutes passed, Kirk's anxiety increased, and he attempted to calm himself, but his mind was racing. Just as Kirk was beginning to lose hope, Kendra showed up. She entered the room with purpose, her eyes locked on Kirk's. And although she was calm, there was an obvious coldness to her demeanor. He had been caught in a lie, and now he was expected to make amends with a few words. Could he really do that? Could he convince Kendra and Jock that he was sorry that any of this had happened? "Let's just get over with," Kendra said in a steady but firm voice, not wasting any time with pleasantries. She wasn't going to back down and wasn't here to play games. She had already decided what she wanted to do and wasn't going to let Kirk manipulate the situation any longer. Kirk swallowed hard, trying to find the right words. "Kendra, I don't know how to say this, but I am sorry I messed up." He took a deep breath and said, "I know I hurt you, and I know I hurt Jock too." His voice trembled. "I never meant for any of this to happen. It's been a mess, and I take full responsibility for everything." Kendra's eyes narrowed, not impressed by his apology. In fact, she seemed almost unimpressed. "I see that you don't understand the gravity of what you've done. It's not just about an apology. You've crossed a line and now you're trying to fix it," she said. As Kirk tried to process her words, the room fell silent. He had expected some anger, tears, and possibly even some forgiveness. But what he was hearing from Kendra was completely different from what he had expected. She was cold, detached, and unwilling to let him off the hook. She had obviously been hurt, and she wasn't ready to let go of her pain just then. Jock walked into the room. "Kirk," Jock said in a low, controlled voice, "you've been playing with people's lives, man. This isn't a game." He had been waiting outside, giving Kendra and Kirk a few moments to speak, but now it was his turn. As he sat down, his eyes darted between Kendra and Kirk, the tension between them palpable. Jock had been through his own emotional turmoil over the past few weeks, and now he was about to let everyone know exactly how he felt. Joe's face flushed with embarrassment. He had never seen Joe so furious, and it stung the man who had once been his friend. "This is real, and now you're trying to act like you can just apologize and make everything okay." "No." Joe shook his head, his jaw clenched tight. "It doesn't work like that. I'm hurt not just because of what you did to Kendra, but because you're trying to make it seem like you're the victim here." "I never meant for it to get this far," Kirk said, his voice breaking. "I messed up. I made a mistake, and I don't expect you to forgive me right away, but I want to make it right. Want to fix things." Choke's eyes narrowed, his disbelief evident. "You think you can just fix things like that after everything, Kirk? You don't understand what you've done." Kirk felt completely exposed and had nowhere to hide for the first time when he was accused of things he couldn't deny. Kendra, who had been silent until now, finally said, "You've hurt both of us, Kirk." Her voice softer now, but still full of emotion. "And the worst part is, you never even thought about the consequences. You just acted without thinking, and now here we are dealing with it. Done. You've destroyed trust. You've destroyed friendships. And now you think an apology is enough," she said, shaking his head and laughing bitterly. "With the mess you made, this isn't something you can fix overnight. You can't just apologize and expect everything to go back to normal," she said, looking at Kirk with disappointment in her eyes. The weight of her words hit Kirk like a ton of bricks because he had underestimated the damage he had caused and had hoped that his apology would be enough to make things right. But now he realized that it wasn't even close to that. Kirk, still struggling to find the right words, looked at Jock and Kendra, who both agreed that he had crossed a line and couldn't just take it back, but he wasn't ready to give up just yet or let this be the end. Kirk said in a steady voice, "Now, I know I can't undo what I did, but I'm not giving up on making things right. I'm not asking for your forgiveness, but I want to show you that I'm not ready to let this be the end." They both knew that Kirk's words weren't enough yet, but could they give him a chance to prove himself? Only time would tell. But for now, the meeting was over, the damage had been done, and all three of them were left with more questions than answers. Could Kirk redeem himself? Would he ever be able to mend the broken trust? Kendra and Kirk exchanged a look, the air thick with tension. More importantly, could they move past or had the damage been irreparable? As the meeting came to an end and the cameras went down, Kirk, Kendra, and Jock's future was still up in the air, and everyone was waiting impatiently for the next installment of this explosive story. The drama between the two of them was far from over, and it seemed to get more complicated with each turn. Even though Kirk has pledged to make things better, the road to redemption is long and full of challenges. Will he ever be able to win back the trust he has lost? Will Kendra and Jock ever forgive him? Will this be the end of their relationship forever? Only time will tell, but we want to know if you believe Kirk can turn his life around or if it is too late. Will they ever allow him to return to their lives? Have they moved on for? Let's start a conversation by leaving your thoughts in the comments section below. If you're following the drama, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for all the latest updates on this scandalous story and much more. Click the notification bell to ensure you don't miss any updates on this unfolding saga. Stay tuned because the next chapter in Kirk, Kendra, and Jock's drama may be coming up soon. See you in the next one.